So how are you? Good. You're on mute. You're on mute. I can't hear you if you're speaking.
I'm well. How are you?
I'm doing well. It's good to see you. You having a good day?
I'm having a day. I'm having a day, but I'm grateful that I can
Yeah.
have the day.
Yes, yes, no. Yeah, today has been very, very busy. Lots of things going on, but for me, it's been good. It's been productive, let's say.
Yes, good, good.
Productive day. So how did you feel about the workshop? That was you've been there a couple of times.
Yeah, this is my
What
third
we
time.
Third time. Okay, okay. So I know we didn't go over like family tree or anything, but did you try on that and get any further on your journey, on your quest?
I'm still looking. I haven't gotten any further. It came to me after that call because I was like really thinking, okay, who may know? And I have an uncle who is, of course, my mother's brother,
Mm.
who I haven't who that's a whole entanglement. He was part of the reason why I got kidnapped many, many years ago. So that's a whole nother story for a whole nother time. But I thought he should know, he
Mhm.
should know. So I have no idea where he is. I
Mhm.
think someone said he might be in Atlanta, but that it's like my mother, because I've been lamenting to her when I do my Zemzem and saying, hey, mama, what do I need to do for you? I opened her mouth through the Earth Center this year. So it's like now I'm like, okay, mama, what do I need to do for you so so you can tell me who my father is? Because I know obviously.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
the light bulb at least went off that if I can find him, her brother should know. So
Yeah.
that's given me a little teeny piece. Now I'm just trying to work to see if how I can find him. So
Yeah.
it's
Okay. Okay. You get
yes.
head of the family.
With
Okay, so it's the father side that's the missing piece.
yes, I don't know who my father is.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
actually, I don't know much of my mother's either because she was killed when I was like 3,
Mm.
or she was beaten, and then because of the repercussions of the beating, she died. So,
Mhm. Sorry for
um,
that.
and it was my brother's father who did that.
Okay. Okay.
But I was told that his father was not my father. I have my mother's last name, but my brother has his father's last name.
I see.
So I've been trying to get my brother just to go ahead and take the ancestry test because it will show if we have the same fathers.
Well, yeah, that will knock one bird out of there, right? Like you'll know I'm looking for somebody else.
Right.
Right.
So he doesn't have a very good relationship with his father. So he just hasn't done it. So I was also thinking I'm just gonna buy the ancestry kit, go to my brother, like just say, hey, you know what? Because we don't really speak much. We're not close. We were close when we were young, and then um when my grandparents died, we all went to live with his family, and I had such animosity toward them because I felt like y'all killed my mama, but
Right.
but that really
Right.
wasn't the case, in reality, but as a 12-year-old, that's how I felt, and so I was rebellious. So we were in two separate places, and I ended up getting kidnapped, and that's a whole nother story, like I said. But so he doesn't have a relationship with his father. We were really, really close when we were young, but now we are kind of very distant too, me and my brother. So I figure I'm going to just say, like, I've appealed to him, I've begged to him, I've been angry with him, and like, but now I'm gonna buy the kit. I'm gonna ask him, hey, it's been too long. I mean, it's been decades since we've seen each other. It's been too long. Hey, I'm going to come see you like this weekend. Give me a time when I can come see you. And then I'm going to come with kit in hand and be like, okay, look.
Let's do this.
Let's do this. I cannot wait any longer. I need to know, because if he is my father, okay, fine. You know, the hurt that I had because of him, what he did to my mother, has long since, because I've never advocated for the death of someone else. You know, people were like, okay, well, why wouldn't you want the death penalty? And I'm like, because killing him does not bring back my mother, and it's still now doing the same thing that was done to her. This is a death. This is not right.
Right.
So I just want to know if he is my father. And if he doesn't want to talk to me or anything, that's fine, because at least then I'll know, and I may be able to reach out to other people. And if he's not, then I know I have to keep searching. But, you know,
right.
So those are the two things that because of us talking, and even when now let me make sure I'm saying it right. Is it Mianun?
Mianu.
Mianu.
Mm-hmm.
With is it N-O-N at the end? Mianu?
Mm-hmm.
Mianu.
Yes, but
Mianu.
yeah, it's M-O-N, yeah, but pronounced Mianu.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So she was saying the county clerk. I never thought of the county clerk. So I was just in a car accident back in October. There's so much going on. There's so much going on, but I'm grateful. I'm okay. Like I'm grateful. Yeah. I'm getting ready to get a reading done to figure out what in the world is going on, so I can get some things back in order. But with the Earth Center, and
okay.
You know, and then at some point, because this is such an interesting layer, you know, as me being the Earth Center initiate, and I'm still an active initiate there. But the one piece that I found with the Earth Center is, as a woman, I feel like the initiation that we need to get as women is missing from the Earth Center.
Mm-hmm.
And the things that I need, because I know I'm a woman, and I know, you know, I've had babies, but I don't know. It's like, I don't know what my function, all that means to be a woman. Like I am in this whole finding who I am now, because I've been so focused on, because of my trauma, on everybody else, that I'm like, this is the year, dagnabbit. This is the year that I find me, you know. So when she said the county clerk, I was like, I never thought about the county clerk. And even how everything that we're doing here, because I've been listening, my morning ritual is listening to the podcasts. And I started at the beginning. So, you know, I'm on episode 6 now. And, you know, there's so much, you know, I'm excited because there's so much from the EC that I do know, but
yeah,
the culmination of all that she knows brings a different view. You know, it's like it's building on everything that I've gotten so far. And I'm like, okay, I'm kind of torn, because I really feel like, you know, I still feel like there's some things I need to do with the EC. But again, the reading will bring that all out. I'm going to ask those questions, because I also feel like it's time for me to, I need, first of all, I need a family. Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I know my ancestors are here. I know that, Abla.
You need a community. You need a family.
But I'm lonely, girl. I'm lonely. You know, I need folks that I can hug up on, or call that actually know me, because they took the time to know me, not just because you know, in our structure in the EC, they're my personal hottie and they're supposed to be there for me, but I don't feel any connection to them because they don't really know me. We don't talk. You know, they don't call me to see if I'm okay or see if I'm sick, you know. So and you know, priesthood and healer is it was in my name reading, in my destiny, in my bloodline. And I don't feel worthy of any of that. Although I have been healing goo gobs of folks all these years, in clairvoyance, and I feel like, who, you know what, am I like, that's such a big thing, and I know I can do it, but at the same time, I'm like, ooh, I don't, that ain't, I mean, I just feel like that's too big for me. So,
Because maybe you don't know who you are. You
yes,
don't know how big you are.
I do
So
not. I do not.
yeah,
And I
I
and I
was
don't want to be, I don't want to, this is part of my, I guess, my self-doubt. I'm working on my self-doubt. And I don't want to, if I'm not that big, I don't want to be walking around like I'm that big if I'm really not. You know, I
mm,
don't want to ever be
mhm.
seeming arrogant or I don't want to mislead anyone. I want to be certain
You want to be
that,
authentic. Yeah.
yes,
Hmm. Hmm.
because so
It's
many
not
people walk around,
for the ego, right? Do this for the ego.
right? Because so many
Hmm.
people nowadays walk around saying they're a healer, and I'm like, how? Because because I'll tell people, I say I am not a healer. I'm an apprentice healer. I'd like to be a healer. I'm working on it, and I know I can do some healing things. My grandmama gave me some stuff that I know, and it works.
Hmm.
But to hold someone's life in your hands, that's what a healer does.
Hmm.
I'm not throwing those words around all willy-nilly until I know. I do know for certain, but until I know for certain. I know for certain and I don't know for certain all at the same time.
Yeah, no, it's true. I mean, you know for certain, but you're trying to figure out, well, what place is that? Where do I fit in? How do I grow into that? Like, there's a lot of questions. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, in this call, sorry, we got a little bit of a late start, so I want to make sure
Yeah.
that I get a good understanding of everything. So in this call, we're going to go through just some questions, right? I'm going to give you some questions so that I can better understand your situation, and then
Okay.
we can go into it. If it sounds like we can help, and if it sounds like you're a good fit for the program based on your goals, then we'll get into how everything works, some of the
Okay.
details of the program, and then you can make a decision, whether you're interested and want to be a part of it or not.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, so just for my reference, 'cause I think I know, but I just want you to put it in your words.
Okay.
Tell me about what is the key thing that motivated you to want to schedule this call, to want to go deeper into the 12-week program?
First and okay, my knee jerk comment is because I want to be able to help people better. That's my
Mm,
knee jerk. That's my knee jerk. Now my my thoughtful response is I want to be healthy and whole and trauma free, and because I know all the horrible things I've been through makes it so I can help others well. But man, if you're breaking down all the time because of the things you've been through, you can't help nobody. So
mm-hmm,
I want to. I'm 54 years old. I am
okay.
so ready not to be. I was telling Mianu
Mianu, uh-huh.
Mianu. I'm gonna have to write that down phonetically because I
Mm-hmm.
want to say it right. Mianu. I was telling her I am. I have been. I have been surviving and struggling. It seems my whole entire life. I am so ready to thrive and then be able to pour that into other people so they can thrive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's very important, and I like the way that you see it that way. That you're wanting to heal, you're wanting to overcome that trauma, so that you can help others that are going through those same things, right, or similar things.
Mm-hmm.
It's really really important. You mentioned that you want to help people heal better. So, are you already? You mentioned you kind of already healing. How are you? What modalities are you using?
So my grandmother, um, just was, you know, go pick up this, go pick here, see this plant, go get this. And she'd make stuff for us. When I had my children, I chose to do herbal medicines for them strictly. Not no now I realize they were guinea pigs because I didn't really know what I was doing, but everything works. Like, you know, I'd research a little bit and I'd have thoughts and I'd put stuff together and it worked, you know. And then when I became the initiate of the Earth Center and I took Sunt, which is traditional healing, and I graduated from that class. It's like now the culmination of all those things. So through herbal medicine, I was a psychology major when I was in college, did not graduate, but I am the go-to person for anyone who needs to have the cheerleader, the person who talks them into, like, who gives them the truth and has them think logically. So, you know, there's so many things that I do, though, but those are the two major things. If somebody's sick, I can go and take care of them and get them right. And if somebody needs wise counsel, I know that I've been that for people. Like, people have moved on to do great and amazing things based on the things that I've told them. I'm like, you know what? How am I not able to do that for myself? But those are the two. Those is what I've been doing. I just don't know what I should be doing.
I see. I see. That's what you've been doing. Okay. So when you thank you for that, because it helps me figure out like how this course can potentially help you increase those abilities, right? And increase those goals that you're trying to reach. When you're talking about getting over trauma, if you had to name your trauma, what would be the trauma that you think getting over will help you tremendously?
I think the biggest thing is, since my trauma started young, the first things that I did in those moments was put myself in the line of danger. I took the danger that would have came on other people. And as a child, I thought that was the right thing to do. Like, the one little young lady, not the little young, when we were kidnapped, one of the children who was there with me, she was 6 and the woman was molesting her. So I knew that this little 6-year-old couldn't take that. So I decided to put myself in her place. I was like, okay, I'll lay in the bed and I could float out of my body and let her do whatever. And I seemingly was okay. You know, in the grand scheme of life, when people meet me or see me, they would have no idea what I've been through, because for the most part, they're like, you are always so light and so happy and cheery and bubbly. But I can see that I don't know how to protect myself. Like, there's times when, like, now I'll freeze. Like, somebody will do something. Like, I was at the club. This guy kept slapping my ass. He did it like 4 times. I'm like, I didn't do anything. I kind of froze. I kept dancing, but I didn't stop him. I didn't yell. I didn't scream. I didn't punch him. I didn't do anything. And then I broke out into tears. But then when this man was trying to mess with my friend, who's a guy, all of a sudden I raised up, I looked for something, I was about to beat his ass. You know, my autopilot is to protect everyone else, but I don't always know how to protect myself. So I think, that's one of the things, that's the biggest thing I think in my trauma. And then sometimes I have some PTSD episodes, like where the whole world in front of my face will shift back into when I was kidnapped. Like, the room changes and the smells are all there, and I'm all of a sudden this little girl, and I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. And I have to tell myself, I said, no, I'm a big girl. I'm a big girl. But that's so, that happened a couple of weeks ago. I haven't had that happen in a long time, like where I'm seeing things that aren't really there. So I need that stuff to go. It's time for it to all go. But those are the two biggest things, I think.
You know, when you say that you put yourself in danger for others, like a self-sacrificing type of way, but when certain traumas or certain dangers happen to you, you don't necessarily protect yourself. And sometimes, like I can see that as being an indication of your self-worth.
Yes.
um yeah, so that would, if it's fair to wrap that up in a bucket,
Right.
it might be focusing on self-worth, although it's not fair to wrap that up in a bucket. But I just want to get to kind of like the general um issues, because even down to when you say, I know who I am, I know my mission, my destiny, what I'm supposed to do, but I don't feel like I'm worthy to carry that, that prestige or that responsibility. But you are. So we got to work on that. And then, dealing with the traumas that happened in your life, with your family, your mother, your kidnapping, like those things are really important to why you're here, why you're led here. So my next question would be then, with dealing with those, let's say those two things, right? The self worth and the PTSD, and dealing with those, what things have you done to start healing or start coping? I'm gonna say not coping, but start to fix those problems. What steps have you taken to begin to address those issues?
Um, so I wrote a vow to myself a few months ago that one, when the emotions of those things, the hurt, because normally when it comes up, whatever it is, I just kind of I sit real straight and real tall and suck up all the tears and say, I am fine. I'm okay. So I've made a vow to myself, and I shared it with my friends, that when I'm going through things, I'm allowing myself to experience those things, but then to let it go and see where I am and who I am in reality. So that's one of the things I did. And the other thing is, actually, when we were on the call on my birthday, I'm making boundaries for me. I'm being honest with people about the things that I like. And sometimes I'm not exactly sure all the things that I like because I'm really focusing on that. But I'm now taking the time that my voice and what I want is important. So I'm being more honest and putting my foot down about some things. I'm making some boundaries, Abla. I'm making some boundaries. So
That's good. It's important. It's important.
it is. It is. So
Okay.
those are the two things. I've been getting my house in order so I can be able to focus and have order in my house and thus order in my head. Because sometimes I think my house reflects the disarray that's going on in my mind. But I'm also making a point of saying, because normally, like, say if there's a whole bunch of stuff that I needed to do here in my home for me, but you called me and said, Neferista, I need your help with so and so. Normally, I would drop everything that I'm doing and go into right in. Okay, how can I help you, Abla? Do you need me to come? I'm on my way. Whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm being honest enough to say, okay, if you can wait until I get these things finished, then
Yeah.
I can help you.
Right.
So, and sometimes it means I have to really catch myself because I want to help everybody. You hear me? I mean, stranger on the street who was shoveling their snow, stuck in the snow. I'm looking out my window, was like, oh, I should go get some sand and some shovels. And one of the initiates, he was like, no, that's not your business. They are out there. They don't even know what you're going through. So I'm making some boundaries. I'm making some
Okay.
boundaries
No, I
and
mean,
being
it's beautiful. It's beautiful to want to help people, but again, like making sure all your bases are covered, all your needs are covered. It's important to avoid feeling taken advantage of or burnt out or low energy or just giving up on certain things that are really helpful towards your goals. So I think that's important. So I mean, what I hear you saying is you're doing like a lot of self-regulating, right? You're trying to self-regulate your emotions. You're trying to provide more organization within your daily routines and create boundaries. You're with the Earth Center, so I heard earlier that you do readings and things like that. So let's say, how comfortable are you relying on those methods? Have they been working for you?
I think they work when I use them.
How
And
often do you use them?
that's what I'm saying. Me using them consistently is something that I'm just beginning. You know,
Okay.
my little vow to myself was just a couple of months ago. So me getting in that rhythm that's new. That's new. And I do like, there's things that are going on and I'm having struggles, but I'm okay. Like I know I'm okay. That is one thing I know.
Okay.
Like I might feel down sometimes, but when I do a self-assessment, I'm like, girl, but you're okay. You might feel like crap, but you're okay. So they're helping. They are helping.
Hmm.
I just, for
Good.
me, it's more like, what else can I do? What else can I do? Am I doing the right things? Are there more tools that I can have that will work best for me? And what is the best things to do for me? And I'm not
Hmm.
exactly sure. Um,
Hmm.
my money is always funny. So that's the other thing. Like, being able to afford some of the things that I know will help me. That's like, I've been working, like my credit score, blah.
You working on it?
Listen, I had no credit a year ago. It is now 733. You hear me? Now I ain't got no money, Abla. I ain't got a lick of money.
But you got
I
good
got,
credit.
but I got good credit. You hear me? They want to give me stuff, and I'm like, you ain't messing up my good credit because I ain't got no money yet. But
You got
that's
some
all part of it.
access.
Like the things I had a soap business when I had my second child, my third child back in 2003. It did really well. Um, I now am making soaps like completely by hand. People are moved and love my soaps. And they like, now that I have all this scent knowledge, it's like now my soaps can be not only like aromatherapy and good for your skin, but they can be medicinal because I know some stuff.
Right.
But I don't know how to get this going. I don't
Uh-huh.
know all those pieces. So yeah, now I'm just trying to now I need they're gonna have to wait. Now I think I just need a me. Like right now, all that I pour into other people, because like I said, for me to try to figure that out, turning myself into me for me, I just have a difficult time. It's like my brain just shuts down.
Mm.
But like anybody else, it's like, and then it all comes together. I can pull energy from anywhere and pour it into someone else. And then, so now I think I just need a me for me. I need a me for
Mm.
me. Someone who can tell me about myself, the things they see good, the things they don't see good, whatever it is, I need a me for me so I can then say, okay, and I can keep moving forward.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You need guidance, right? Yeah, I get
Mm-hmm.
it. Guidance and focusing on you, restoring yourself is what I hear. You need restoration. You need somebody to pour back into you, right?
Yes,
Um,
yes, 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 yes.
yeah. Okay. Okay. Um, hmm. Okay. Understood. Understood. So, what I want to check is when we are talking about this 12-week program, um, is there like a timeline? Do you have a timeline or a goal to where you see yourself as, like, if I look back a year from now, I want to be in a healed space, or I'm in crisis now, and I need like within the next 3 months for my life to change. Like, where are you on the scale?
The only thing I had initially was by my birthday next year,
Mm.
I am going to not be where I'm at. I'm going to be okay. My finances are going to be good. My my mind is going to be focused and clear. Like I'm going to by 1 year, my new year is
Hmm.
it. That for me, that's been my thought. Like by 55, things are going to be different.
Yeah, and they will be. They will be if you have that mindset and you put in that work. So, okay, that's good. So what I can gather is that I think we can help you. We can definitely help you in your growth expectations, in your healing process. Would you? Are you ready for me to tell you more about the program?
Yes.
Okay. So just a little bit about Nazia Fa Spiritual Institute. Again, we are headquartered in Benin, and we have a location here in the U.S. in San Diego. But again, we're covering all the U.S. What I want to express to you is that we are really focused as a temple, right? As an initiative from even our home temples, we are focused on the development of women. We are focused on allowing them the tools in the education, the traditional cultural education, to know what their function is within society, what their function is even within existence. So we focus a lot on revealing a lot of things about the person, like self discovery. We focus a lot on exploring what your gifts are, what your talents are, what your strength are, what your power is, how you should interact in this, with those energies. And so, in order to create balance and restoration for the woman, because the whole purpose or the whole understanding is that it is the women who keep the culture. It's the women who are strong on the spiritual side, who keep that side. It's the women who are the first teachers and the first healers for their families and their communities. So, for us to really function highly in our role, we have to be whole. We have to be restored. We have to know who we are. And so, this is really a level of expertise that we have. And then also, I know you're coming from Kemetic knowledge, being initiated into the Earth Center's education, and I want to definitely say that we are all focused on West African culture and the development of people. So this is not one is better than the other, but
Right.
um, each spiritual system within the African spiritual systems have their specialty.
Hmm.
And us being a voodoo temple, not to say that everybody who deals with us has to be, initiated into voodoo, no. But because we are a voodoo temple, voodoo as a specialty really focuses on the mind, how the mind is interacting with the energies, your personalities, clearing, overcoming trauma, fixing any imbalances. You hear the term neurodivergence, right? And in Vodun, that's like a key word to say, oh, somebody's highly spiritual. Let's fix that imbalance so that person can function at the level that they're supposed to. So that's why I say that I think that we can help. I know that we can help. And so, with this program, in order to achieve those levels that we're looking for, we are going through a 12-week program that has 3 phases. Phase one each phase is about 4 weeks. So, phase one is really talking about your foundation. We're going through self discovery. We want to know one, who we are, what our lifestyles are now, and what we are striving to be. So we focus on our lifestyles. We focus on routine building. We start to dig deeper into understanding our family, who they are, how we should, better interact with them to build a better spiritual foundation. how to mend relationships in a traditional sense. And we also talk about how to personalize our practices, because this is not religion, right? It has to
Right.
be based on you. And this is part of the self-discovery. So we focus on that. We go in deep. And then on phase two, we have a deepening for spiritual connections. So a deepening of your spiritual connection. So here we take a more advanced step into exploring what it means to be able to connect to the divine. So understanding spiritual energy, understanding the science of how you are connected to your divine source, going through meditation and mindfulness, and understanding the different aspects of spirituality from a traditional sense, and how to begin to regulate yourself, how to begin to utilize the energy around you in a more balanced way to regulate. And then we're going to go deeper into ancestral veneration, right? Because in the class we learned, through your ancestors is your connection to the divine. And
Right.
because that portion is going in deeper when talking about deepening your spiritual connection, it's key to understand more complex um, levels of ancestral veneration. Okay,
Mhm.
your altar, how to do it, how to communicate, and so this is one of the modules in the phase two. Then we go on to phase three. Phase three is talking about uh, actually integrating all of the things that we've learned to create transformation. So in this part, we're going to be living the change. And so, in living the change, we have to maintain our spiritual connections. We have to maintain our relationships that we build ancestrally. And so, we talk about a lot of purity and cleansing practices that we can use to further maintain or keep our purity, keep our connections. We integrate within the daily life our practices that we've developed based on ourselves, our rhythms, our callings, right? And then we also develop ourselves personally. So we develop the parameters that we will thrive in, and we try to really work on transforming our lives based on all of the techniques that we've learned. So that will be the high level, right? The high level of the 12-week program. Of course, within that, we'll definitely have times where you're doing consultations, you're doing one-on-ones, you're interacting with the community with group exercises. So this time is a really intense learning period, and not just like a workshop, 2 hours. It's going to be a
Mhm.
commitment for that 12 weeks. And
Mhm.
so that is, like I said, the high level of the program. Um, okay, so do you have any questions or would like me to go deeper into any explanations?
I'm looking at my notes real quick.
Okay.
Okay, I do. I'm
Okay.
trying to figure out how to phrase it. I know we were talking about, and the same thing that you said is the same thing that the EC says. The African spiritual systems are all in essence interconnected, and just everyone has their specialty, but it's all coming from the same source. Um,
Right.
so I can't see me not being an initiate of the Earth Center um, at this juncture of my life. I'm assuming there wouldn't be a conflict between the two. Would that be correct?
Not necessarily. Um, I haven't gone through the Earth Center, so this might be a question that Priestess Hedera or Mianu can really guide you in. But both organizations are are work well with each other, and so we don't have a conflict. I don't know that there's a, if you're initiate into Vodun, that you can't, or if you initiate into your Kemetic, that you can't initiate into Vodun, because that's exactly what Priestess has done, right?
Right.
That's her path. And her Kemetic initiations and her Voodoo initiations were, if you listen to the podcast, you can hear.
I did. I remember. Oh, you're froze. Okay, you're back.
Where are you? Okay. Yeah. So if you listen to the podcast, you can see what her evolution from the Earth Center to her, Vodun teachings and initiation. So naturally, it just depends on your path. What I will say is, let's see. Let's see. I don't foresee that there's a big, conflict, but right now we're talking about healing, right? We're not necessarily talking about initiation. If that is your path, yeah, if that is your path, I know that they'll work together to find some middle ground to where it can work for you. But I would say first explore your path. Don't think about politics and things like that. Do what you feel is right for you. And if we do get to initiation, then we'll handle it then.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Any other questions that you have? I think we have about 8 more minutes until my next call. So I definitely wanted to. The questions you had.
I do not presume that this 12-week boot camp is free. What is the cost?
Okay, fair question. So the typical cost for this boot camp is $4,600. Okay, but for those people that I talked to today, like you, that are dedicated on your journey, if you are signing up today, we have an incentive, a discount, that we can knock off $1,000 from the investment into the course. So that brings your price down from 4,600 to 3,600.
Okay. I know I cannot do that now, but I know there will be some in the future, and I think things are going to be available to me in the near future. So
Okay.
I'm like, not that I'm banking on it, but I know I'm going. The accident was more detrimental than what I knew, so I got a lawyer. I'm in physical therapy. I wasn't going to get a lawyer because I was like, well, I'll be fine, but I'm older. And I was like, you know what? Nothing was happening so that I could get some healing in my body. So
right.
Although I'm okay, and it's, I've been working with Ancasta Natural Healing, and I was thinking about reaching out to you all too, because I have some side effects of the concussion. So my memory and balance and things are doing stuff, and my body is still healing. And they're saying it's going to take maybe, another 6 months for me to be good again. Because I'm having some memory loss, a little bit of memory loss, and things like that. So I'm surprised, but I'm like, it's a lot worse than what I thought, but at the same time, I'm good. But I'm anticipating, although I'm not banking on it. I'm like, okay, if they just give me enough to cover these medical bills and replace my car, I'm fine. But I know I've been lamenting to my ancestors to have money to go to back to Medita with the Earth Center, to go to, since I seen the Voodoo Queen, like way back when, and Hanira was coming here, Mianu was coming here And I was like, I gotta go to Benin. So I know that's something that I wanted to do. And I know, and the Voodoo Queen like sent me a friend request on Facebook. And I was like, like,
Oh,
okay, like, okay.
yeah, we call her the queen. She's the queen mother.
The
Yeah,
Queen Mother.
that's what you're
Yeah.
talking about, right?
Yes.
Yeah, queen mother. Yes,
So
that's
I know I felt so special. So I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm going. So I'm hoping with me humbly lamenting that this money that's going to come, if it's just enough to pay my bills, get me a new car, and let me go back to Merita and let me go to Benin. So if
yes.
you know, um if in that is the money for the 12 weeks too, then I'll just be talking to you and saying, okay, 12 weeks or Benin, tell me which one I need to do. If it's not enough money, and if it's enough money to do both, then I'll be doing it all. But I'm going to keep working on the things I need to work on so money can come to me, and so I can do the work so I can come to me, and
Mm-hmm.
somehow, some way, parts of
You're
this,
gonna
because
get
I know,
it.
because I know I need it. There's no reason why I feel good in this. Like I feel like yeah, I just feel good. This is supposed to be happening right now. I feel that. I know that because I was telling some
Right.
sisters.
Well, I mean,
No, go ahead.
go ahead. Go ahead. You were telling some.
I was telling some like
No, well, I
people.
was just saying, like, sorry, my connection is lagging. Sorry. Go
It's okay.
ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, it's okay. I was saying to the sisters that
Go ahead. Go ahead.
we need here in Baltimore a woman healer. We have had men healers, but we need a woman healer. And I'm the go-to that people come to,
Mm-hmm.
because whether the food or whatever, but I don't know. I feel like I don't know enough yet, but it's time. It's time. Like I need to be that person for Baltimore or for the East Coast or for whatever. So I feel that this right here, me and you and the
That's good.
Sundays, like this is supposed to happen. I don't know exactly how yet, but
Ancestors lead us where we're supposed to be. So it's just up to us to have in our hearts that this is what we want to do, and you're already in the process of lamenting and praying and manifesting those things that you want. So insert this one, and I know that you'll work towards it, and we'll get there. I spoke to Priestess Hanera, and we are open to payment plans. So even if you don't have it all, when you expect, if you're working towards it and you want to propose a payment plan, we can check the energies and make sure that it's approved, and we can move that way as well. Um, yeah, just so you know, I'm going to send you my email address so that you can, well, actually, let me ask you, if working through a payment plan, how soon do you think you can outline some proposal of pay schedule and things like that?
I will say this honestly. Right now, I can't see where the money will come from. I'm behind the eight
Okay.
ball with a lot of things, but I will next month I'll be able to assess some things. I mean, I would end up being no, I can't say that. Right now it would look like me paying like my payment plan if I in the money that I have and what I can do, it wouldn't be enough. But I don't know what's coming. So I will just keep you posted and keep updating you guys so that we can see how I can go.
Please do. Please do. Keep us updated because, like I said, things change as far as flexibilities. And so
Yes.
it's always good to check in to see what it is that we can do to make this work. And now also show your commitment as well. So, Yeah, I sent you the email address. When you're
Yep.
ready, let us know. I'll probably be checking in with you in a little bit, not too much, but checking in with you just to see if you're still, on track, if you need help with anything, if you need advice. But we're in the Divine Feminine chat group, so we have easy contact, easy
Yes.
access. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, well, I am praying for you. I'm praying that you figure these things out. I'm also praying for your health, because I know it's not scary, but it's just uncertain when you're having these new things happen to you and you're kind of trying to figure it out. So I just pray that the ancestors be with you and guide you in your healing.
Well, thank you. Thank you. Well, good
Okay.
talking to you. I appreciate this discussion.
No, absolutely. And anytime you want to talk, I'm here.
I appreciate that. And you as well. And you as well.
Absolutely. I can talk.
All right.
Have a good evening and we'll be in contact.
Okay. Have a good evening as well.
Alrighty. Peace.